Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for your time. Before I start my speech, I'd like to acknowledge a few people who are part of the 10-year anniversary. My condolences to Mr. Thomas Downing. He was my uncle and my aunt's fiance. He was a man of integrity, a man who was active, and he was helping out in a fundraiser the day of the accident. I'd like to pay my condolences to Makai Johnson, who was unfortunately a toddler at the time when he passed away. I saw so much potential in him, so much greatness, and so much athletic ability in such a young kid. And then I'd like to acknowledge my cousin Rakai. He was a survivor with me. I'd like to acknowledge his mom for, visiting us at the hospital, the rehab, and more importantly, staying strong. Because I learned during the times of adversity, it's the shoulders you lean on, and that's the people that are closest to you the most. I'd like to acknowledge my aunt Yolanda Vaughn, a strong woman, resilient woman who overcame multiple injuries, one through rehab, one through therapy, but here she is standing with her grandson. She's a proud grandma, and more importantly, she's a proud native of Coatesville, the city. I'd like to acknowledge the school board legislature for acknowledging my 10-year anniversary when they gave me a letter. I'd like to acknowledge Legislature City Council members who acknowledged my 10-year anniversary as well. And of course, Harrisburg Area Community College did a news article on me recently. And of course, the public officials who reached out to me through social media and text. Without further ado, I'm ready to do my speech. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not a time of mourning or sorrow. This is a time of celebration of life, because I'm still here, I'm still present, and more importantly, it is by God's mercy, favor, and you gotta understand that math has a common denominator and numerator, and God decided to override that. Even though there's a 1% chance of living, 99% chance of death. That is the miracle, because even though that 1% is small, there's still hope and there's still life in me. Through the hardships and wounds, I became a triumph, the doer of deeds, the overcomer, and being the man I've become today. A man who's graduated college twice. A man who's giving back to the community and sharing and inspiring the youth, parents, guardians. Even though I did not feel comfortable talking about this situation when it first happened, I made the recovery. It wasn't until a breakthrough moment happened where I was at my job. Student athletes have access to the internet. And it turns out they researched me, and then they start asking about the car accident. I didn't feel comfortable about it. I thought I could just go to my job. This is my sanctuary. I'm a former student athlete. So I talked to my boss about it. He tells me, Ethan, you are an inspiration. You're gonna have to live with this for the rest of your life. And I realized I have to do something about it. So I was able to share my life through the posters, supporting the student athletes from middle school, high school, and college. And now I have a bigger network. And by using sports as a tool, along with my testimony, there's been a common ground. And more importantly, I saw the Lakeshore newspaper and the media say in 2011 that I was in critical condition. Well, look at me now. They have yet to do a follow-up on the positive progress in my life. But thanks to social media, with Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Snapchat, YouTube, and Instagram, I can tell my own follow-up story and tell my own narrative. I like to thank the fire department, the police, the ambulance, the Lancaster General Hospital, Lancaster Rehabilitation for not only continue to follow their safety protocols, but continue to keep going, even though there was only a 1% chance. As I woke up from the ICU unit, I realized, looking back now, I had a greater calling, and the best has yet to come. Dr. Wortello performed emergency surgery. He went through his own trials and tribulations through medical school, passing clinicals, and graduating several times. I'd like to thank the nurses and the staff who helped wean me off the medicine, and I'm proud to say I'm not an addict to any of the prescription medicines they gave to me. I am not, how I say this politely, I am not in the streets. I'm a productive member of society. When it comes to my faith, I like to thank Mr. Jason McKinney. Visited me in the hospital, visited me at the rehab, along with the people at Teen Haven Ministry, and the Light Ministries, Way of Jesus Ministry, and of course the chaplain. They helped me restore my faith, restore my foundation under the circumstances, because they were telling me about the power of prayer. And when it came to the power of prayer, I remember one day, I was at the Mia Heights Golf Club, and Jordan Steffi, called me up. He put his arm around me and told me to the whole entire everyone, said, Ethan's gonna have a college degree. At the time, I didn't see that, but he, his wife, Keandra, and his family saw my life's coming attraction. And now I have 2 college degrees. One's from Millersville University, and of course, Harrisburg Area Community College. I'd like to thank my family members for visiting me at the hospital at my lowest point, visiting me at the rehab place, and visiting at my home. I was on a feeding tube for several months. Because I don't wish that on nobody, a delayed gratification, but I learned to turn that adversity into an advantage. It made me become more disciplined, not to be easily tempted, but think things more thoroughly, further steps ahead in life. God prevented the funeral arrangements, the burial, and obituary. And by God's mercy and grace, He has allowed me to continue to live a life that's fulfilling and that's part of His purpose. And part of that purpose was, creating memories with several people, like my grandma, Miss Alberta Charlotte Marshall-Vaughn. I used to always visit her at the nursing home every chance I got. She had the biggest smile when she saw me. I would take her outside so she can feel the wind to her skin. Bring her snacks so she could eat softly. And then when it's time to leave, I made the most of that last hug. And I've seen countless student athletes that have scored 1,000 points, go off to college, improve their life skills, creating great memories. And one of those memories is a woman named Nictae Machado-Aku. She not only made the boys' varsity football team, but she also kicked a field goal, and now she has the record for the only woman to ever score a varsity point for football as a woman, ever. There's countless other people I can name, but I'll just get straight to the point. That life is what you make of it. Tomorrow may be never promised, but what is promised is opportunities awaits every one of us. Because you wake up, you have a purpose. When you wake up, there's something to do. Whether it's a to-do list or it's your day of rest. And for the close, ladies and gentlemen, this is the celebration of life, of a 10-year anniversary. And you may start pouring your cups with the sparkling apple cider. We're about to make a toast once I finish this poem. I got my poem notarized just to make sure, hey, it's a special occasion. I gotta make the most of it. So y'all can start pouring your cups. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, this is my poem. God prevented Ethan's death, obituary, burial, and Passover. That's why I celebrate every anniversary as though it's my last. giving a testimony while rewriting history, with an open heart that's now vulnerable and full of humility. The recovery is an inspirational story. On this journey, I claim victory. Being a productive member of society, I graduated from Harrisburg Area Community College and Millersville University. Walking across the stage at the commencement ceremonies, it was very heartfelt, and it felt good to cross the finish line. The comeback towards being an overachiever with redemption. Facing 99% chance of death versus 1% chance of life. The 10-year anniversary is a part of my legacy. A negative car accident turned positive inspirational story. Risen above being a victim, transferring into becoming a victor. I give all glory, honor, and praise to God on social media. He performed the miracle and answered everyone's prayer request. That is the end of the poem, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, this is 10-year anniversary. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the 10-year anniversary of Welcome to Miracle. God did the work. Thank you everyone for your support. I'd like to acknowledge a public official, Judge Jody Richardson, Southeast Side Legislator, J.P. McCaskill alumni, and of course, a Millersville University graduate. And she's leading by example and giving back tremendously. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the toast.